Good evening, folks. Brendan Dzwierzynski here with you from Allen Fieldhouse. The fine folks here in Lawrence, in fact, are cleaning things up. It is late at night. It is after midnight on January 10th into the 11th. It took a long time, but eventually the Kansas Jayhawks came away with a 79-75 victory on Tuesday night to take down the Oklahoma Sooners. The Jayhawks have now won 9 games in a row. They are 4-0 in Big 12 play, but this game was anything but easy for the number 2 ranked team in the country, the Kansas Jayhawks. They trailed this contest by 10 points, 71-61, with just 5 minutes and 18 seconds left in the contest. And during that stretch of the game, second half of the contest, KU went a period of nearly 13 minutes without scoring a field goal. They had a bunch of points on free throws. They did not have a field goal for nearly 13 minutes in the second half. And that was a big part, I should say, of why Oklahoma got out to its 10-point lead. Now, Oklahoma was phenomenal from 2-point range in this game, but a lot of struggles from 3-point range kept the Sooners from really blowing this one open. In the contest, Oklahoma shot 62.5% from 2-point range. They were held under 12%, 2 of 17 from 3 in this contest. Okay, you mostly did a good job defensively, at least on the perimeter, but OU made a lot of shots, some easy, some somewhat tough inside the perimeter, which is what helped them get out to that big lead. But as has happened so many times in Allen Fieldhouse, the crowd got loud. It was galvanized by a couple of decisions by the officiating crew that, well, frankly, the fans did not like, Bill Self did not like, and a bunch of the players didn't like either. And KU was able to put together a game-ending 18-4 run to come away with the victory on Tuesday night. And leading the way for the Jayhawks in this one, sophomore forward KJ Adams. KJ in this game, 22 points. That's now a new career high. He went 8 of 13 from the floor, 6 of 7 at the free throw line. He's been so good from the line recently, and he had 6 rebounds as well in a game in which KU needed all the help it could get rebounding the ball after misses, even against an OU team that really has struggled rebounding the ball over the course of the season so far this year. KJ had a big bucket at the beginning of the run. As we fix the camera here, again, we are taking care of this video as things are being wrapped up at Allen Fieldhouse, but KJ had a big bucket right at the start of the 18-4 run. In fact, it was a dunk off of a great behind-the-head assist by Dwan Harris right at the very end of the game with about 5 minutes to play, 5:02 on the clock, in fact. Adams dunks it home. KU starts the run right off from there. He was one of 4 Jayhawks to score in double figures in this contest. Jalen Wilson, he had 17 points in the game. Another inefficient shooting day for him. It was an inefficient day shooting the ball for a lot of the Jayhawks in this one. Jalen ends up with 17 points, just 3 of 12 from the floor. He was great at the free throw line, though. 10 of 12 at the stripe. He had 18 rebounds, tied for the team high as well. The other 2 double-digit scorers for KU, Dwan Harris, he's been so good offensively as of late. He's been so good in so many ways as of late. He had 11 points, 5 assists in the win. And Zach Clements off the bench, 12 minutes coming off the bench in this one. He ends up with 10 points, 2 threes made in the first half, something that Oklahoma coach Porter Mosier talked about a lot during his press conference, and saying that, hey, look, we were not expecting that. We didn't know what the rotation was going to look like from KU. We were not expecting Zach Clements to come in there and make a couple of threes. And Bill Self effectively said, hey, look, the reason that I went with Zach Clements over Zuby Ejiofor, who only ended up playing 1 minute in the contest, is that Clements played really well against Oklahoma last year. He became something of the Tanner Groves stopper last year. That's why he got the run in this game against Oklahoma and against Tanner Groves, and he came out playing very well, and that decision paid dividends for head coach Bill Self. Should also mention a couple of guys in this game who have been major contributors for KU did not score a whole bunch. Grady Dick, who's obviously one of the best offensive players in the Big 12, he ended up with just 8 points for the game. And Kevin McCullough, just 2 of 6 from the floor, only 8 points in the contest. But huge props to McCullough because he did come up with the go-ahead bucket with under a minute to go. 42 seconds left. McCullough in transition gets to the basket, gets fouled, makes the shot, heads to the line, and gets the and one free throw as well. Free throws were a massive story in this game. KU shot 39 of them. You add on another 23 that Oklahoma shot, 62 combined free throws between KU and OU on Tuesday night. KU made plenty of them, 79.5% of them. Oklahoma made plenty of free throws too, but as Bill Self said during his post-game press conference, KU just happened to make more of them. Final shooting numbers in this one, we mentioned how well OU shot, 62.5% from 2-point range, but just 2 of 17 from 3-point range. KU started this game 16 of 49 from the floor. They ended up shooting 37.3% for the game compared to 47% overall for Oklahoma. KU did get a little bit hotter late during that 18-4 run. Obviously, you don't score 18 points to just 4 answering back without doing at least a little something positively on offense. But Bill Self said after the game, look, our offense was terrible. They were not able to run things. They missed plenty of layups. In fact, it was Matt Tate of the Lawrence Journal-World who said during postgame, 21 missed layups. So around at least approximately 21 missed layups for KU in this one. They struggled around the basket. Even Adams, who had a really good day overall with those career-high 22 points, he missed several bunnies right at the rim. That may have changed the game completely, but of course the same thing can be said about Oklahoma. You shoot anything better than 12%, below 12%, 11.8 to be exact, for the game from three-point range, this may have been a much different contest for Oklahoma. So this is obviously a huge win for KU. They're now nine wins in a row for the Jayhawks ever since that one loss in the championship game down at the Battle for Atlantis against Tennessee. They've won 9 in a row, and they're 4-0 in Big 12 play. That keeps pace with Kansas State, who we heard about earlier on today. Dan Lucero writing about that for 580WIBW.com. He had his reports on the Sports on 580 Twitter account as well. And of course, you heard that game on the Sports Voice of Kansas, 580WIBW. But with Iowa State as well, which also picked up a win on Tuesday night, blowing out Texas Tech up in Ames. That sets up a huge matchup for KU coming up on Saturday this week, 3 o'clock tip-off at Allen Fieldhouse right back here in Lawrence, taking on Iowa State. 2 of the top teams in the Big 12, both undefeated in Big 12 play, will be going head-to-head coming up this weekend. We should note for Oklahoma as well, the Sooners are just 1-3 in league play, the meat grinder of a league. Their 3 losses have come by a grand total of 8 points. Those are the only games they've lost so far in Big 12 play by a combined 8 points. Unbelievable for Porter Mosier's group at Oklahoma, a very talented team. They have the game high scorer, in fact, in this one, 25 points from the Wichita native, former Wichita State Shocker, and Nevada Wolfpack member Grant Sherfield, but it just was not quite enough. And that final 5 minutes really got to the Sooners. Now they are a little bit behind the 8 ball as we get through the first quarter-ish of Big 12 play this season. But again, your final score from Lawrence on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning is the Kansas Jayhawks, 79, the Oklahoma Sooners 75. KU putting together an 18-4 run to end the contest to pick up the win to get to 4-0 in Big 12 play and to pick up their 9th win in a row overall. And as I mentioned just moments ago, the second-ranked Jayhawks will take on Iowa State in their next game coming up on Saturday afternoon right back here at Allen Fieldhouse. Don't forget, for more coverage of the Kansas game, plus Kansas State's win and so much more, head to our website, 580WIBW.com. And of course, myself and Dan Lucero will be talking about all the college hoops action coming up on 580 Sports Talk Wednesday afternoon from 3 until 6. And Fulton Caster and Jake LeBon will be talking about it too on 580 on Mic'd Up from noon until 3. That's all coming up on Wednesday from noon to 3 and 3 to 6. But until then, I'm Brendan Dzwierzynski saying so long from Allen Fieldhouse and so long from a Kansas Jayhawks victory.